You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got some really good spoiler info for you for next week. There's a brand new video out. It's really exciting. I'm going to tell you about all the scenes and the spoilers that relate to it. Some of these scenes bleed together and they're kind of cut very strangely, but there's basically 6 overall scenes. We've got a gun to John Black's head. We've got Xander Cook maybe doing a crime, and people doing the naughty, somebody turning up dead. There's just a bunch going on. I'm going to unpack all of this for you and tell you what day of the week each aspect of this video will happen. But if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. So the first scene is Stefan and Ava. They're in her bed. They're all sweaty. They're post-coital. I saw a lot of people commenting on social media that they thought it was really weird that Ava was basically narrating by reading from her dirty romance book while they were doing the deed. And yes, for all those people who thought I was crazy when I said they were going to do the deed, well, they did do the deed. Indeed, they did the deed. So they're laying in bed. They're all sweaty. They just got done doing it. And Stefan says, well, that happened. And Ava says, yeah. But then she is kind of horrified and says, no one can ever know the truth. So this happened on Monday, February 5th. They were doing it on Friday. They finished doing it on Monday. I wonder if they decide, since they already did it and they're going to be in trouble anyway, if they're just going to do it again, or if it's just going to be a one and done. We'll see. But the spoiler for Monday the 5th says Ava and Stefan struggle with guilt. And well, they should, because they did a bad thing. So this is kind of a weird scene. There's somebody dead. We see like a crime scene thing with a sheet over a body and the little numbers around it. It looks like on the docks behind the bistro, but it could be somewhere else because there's also a warehouse raid. So there's a bunch of stuff cut together really weird. You'll see when you see this. It reminds me of like comic book cut togethers where there's like 5 little squares all at once. So in this next scene, we've got Chad versus Clyde at Statesville Prison. Chad says to Clyde, there was a very big raid this morning at a warehouse. And then either Chad or Everett, because they don't show who's saying it, but I assume it's Chad, says, oh, that's gotta hurt, huh, Clyde? And then we've got later in that same scene where Chad and Everett are talking with Clyde, where Chad lunges at Clyde and Everett has to hold him back. So I'm assuming Clyde said something horrible, either a threat to his children or some kind of mocking remark about how his wife Abby died. I mean, I don't even know how Chad can be in the same room with the man who murdered his wife. It's really awful. So the spoilers for Tuesday the 6th say there is a big drug raid and that Chad and Everett go see Clyde. So this is happening on Tuesday. And what's funny is the spoilers this week, a lot of them from this video are almost in weekday order. It's just worked out that way. It usually doesn't. It usually leapfrogs around. The next scene is Stefan and EJ. EJ says to Stefan, you're going to end up behind bars. And then he is laughing and clapping his hands gleefully. This happens on Wednesday, February 7th. EJ taunts Stefan about the recent drug bust. So did I say January? No, I said February earlier. I had January in my notes. So EJ is taunting Stefan because EJ hears all about the drug busts because, you know, he is the DA. And so he knows the noose is tightening on Clyde, which means it's tightening on Stefan. EJ's still not willing to help. EJ's so hunky, but I just don't like him right now. All right. The next scene, still in chronological order, is Harris Michaels talking to Rafe, and there's more to this scene. It's one that has like 5 little frames in the scene. Harris says to Rafe, once Clyde finds out about this, all hell is going to break loose. And that seems to be about the raid. And then we see Harris Michaels shot behind the bistro. For anybody saying that Ava's going to shoot him either on purpose or accidentally, no, not at all. It's definitely a man's hand in the scene. There's arm hair, all this stuff. So yeah, some guy, I'm assuming some guy who probably works for Clyde, takes a shot at Harris. Hopefully he's in his vest. We'll see. Ava runs up. She's concerned, but I think he's going to be fine just based on the spoilers for the rest of the week. This happens on Thursday, the 8th, because we also know that Harris goes to confront Clyde about the latest drug bust. So I'm assuming vest. You would think so. That's usually what cops do during raids. They wear a vest. Then we have some really weird scenes. Xander kind of running and then checking his watch like he's checking his pulse. Like, is he out for a jog or is he up to no good and is looking at the time? Because also cut in with that, there's somebody in a black ski mask and it looks like they are in the Horton house. And with the black ski mask on them, it looks like it actually could be Xander, maybe. So somebody breaks into the Horton house. That's shown in the promo. I think this is probably when it's set on fire. Remember from the Day of Days promo, the mask makes it very hard to tell who it is. I am torn between Stefan and Xander just based on the dark eyes and the cut of the lips. If it's Stefan, maybe Clyde ordered him to do it or said he would break Gabby's other leg. I can't imagine what would convince Xander to do this bad deed unless it was somehow to save Sarah Horton's life, if he got a hold of her or their baby. Stefan to me seems more likely, It could be somebody random, but I doubt it. They show the masked person in the same cutaway scene with Xander in the promo where he's running. So I don't know if they want us to think it's him or if it's just a red herring. So, and of course, the spoilers that tie to this is from the Day of Days promo. The Horton house burns. Julie and Chad are there. They're horrified. And the scene of a masked person from this promo, they are definitely 100% in the Horton house. So this has to be, because it's there's only like 3 scenes left that haven't happened yet from the Day of Days promo, and at least 2 of them are going to happen this week. We have Constantine activating John and telling him to kill himself. Now, this is not in chronological order because this is from Monday, February 5th. So Constantine is with John in the park, and he says, in Greece, you came to deliver a message of terror. And we see a couple of pictures of like Greece, some B-roll, and then he holds up that pawn card and it activates him. And then Constantine says, John, and John says, who's John? Because he's clearly in pawn mode. And Constantine gives him a pistol and says, put the gun to your head and pull the trigger. And he does put the gun to his head, but I know from other spoilers that he's going to stop him before he pulls the trigger. But it definitely looks like John was going to do it. So this is from Monday the 5th. Constantine tells John a tale from his past, clearly from his pawn past. And then on Wednesday the 7th, John lies to Marlena about spending time with Constantine. Also, he can't remember some things that were said. It's like there's blank spots. But then on Thursday the 8th, John tells Steve everything he can remember. But of course, Steve is holding back on John because he knows a lot of the pawn stuff, but he really doesn't want John to be upset about it. So he hasn't told him. All right, that is everything I have. And I'm going to show you this exciting new Days of Our Lives promo video in just 1 second. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely drop your comments. Please come back every day because we're here talking days 7 days a week. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. Buckle up. Here's that brand new promo.
Well, that happened.
Yeah. No one can ever know the truth.
There was a very big raid this morning at a warehouse. Oh, that's gotta hurt now, Clyde.
You're going to end up behind bars.
Once Clyde finds out about this, all hell is gonna break loose.
In Greece, you came to deliver a message of death. John? Who's John? Put the gun to your head and pull the trigger.